What's going on, guys? It's Steven here from Digital Renovations. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, get a drink of water and hit the little bell icon if you want to help me out. Stay up to date with the latest videos here at Digital Renovations and keep hydrated. Today we're going to take a look at how you can run an AI assistant from your home local device. Think like ChatGPT, but without it harvesting all of your interactions to train itself. The type of AI that ChatGPT uses and that we'll be leveraging today is called a generative AI, based on a large language model. It basically means that it's trying to create something based on the information that it's seen in the past. This isn't going to be ChatGPT itself, but there are a surprisingly large number of models out there to choose from. And in some cases, they even outperform ChatGPT. Now, depending on your laptop's performance, this could be quite slow to respond to you depending on the size of the model you choose. As a general rule, the more parameters, the slower it will be to respond. So 8 billion parameters will be faster and easier to run than 32 billion parameters when we're looking at the models. Whilst not technically necessary, one of the easiest ways to get this up and running is going to be with Docker. So if you haven't already installed Docker, pause the video, go to docker.com and download it. If you want to know more about Docker and how to use it, I'll add a link to our Intro to Containers video. I should also mention that setting this up is going to take about 9 gigs of storage space, but for larger models, it would definitely take a lot more. Today we're going to be combining two open source projects. The first is Ollama. Ollama is an open source tool that allows you to run large language models like Gemma from Google and Llama 3 from Meta. The second is open-webui. This gives us a fancy web interface like you would see with ChatGPT, so rather than having to type everything into terminal, which can be fun sometimes, now you just need to open your web browser. So with Docker open and installed, let's jump into PowerShell. Things are going to take a slightly different turn here if you have a GPU that you can use on your machine or if you want to run CPU only. Now my laptop only has the onboard Intel GPU, so we're going to be running the CPU only install. But if you've got a more robust computer, maybe a gaming oriented one that has a dedicated GPU, we'll run through that approach as well. As a general rule, GPU assisted performance is going to far exceed CPU on its own. For CPU only, we're going to type docker run to run a container, -d to run in detached mode, meaning it doesn't hog our PowerShell window, -p to publish our ports. So we're going to connect local port 3000 to container port 8080. We're going to create a couple of volumes here. So the first one we'll type -v. We're going to create this one for ollama. So for that we're going to type ollama : so we've given it the name ollama, and we're going to let it reside in the containers directory /root /.ollama. The next volume we're going to add is one for open-webui. So we'll call this one open-webui : to move on to the next parameter, and we're going to store it in app backend data within the container. Using volumes means that we're mounting or linking a folder on our hard drive for the container rather than storing things only in the container. Next up, we're going to give our container a name. So --name, and we're going to call it local-AI. We're going to add a restart parameter, so --restart, and say always. This tells our container that unless we explicitly tell it to stop, it should restart itself if something goes wrong. And last, we're going to specify the image that we want to use. So in this case, that image is stored at ghcr.io /open-webui /open-webui ollama. Now, for the CPU only approach, this is what we need to type. If you are running a GPU, back here after we've declared our ports, we're going to include --GPUs all This allows the container to access all available GPUs. And --add -host equals host.docker.internal :host-gateway. This adds an entry in the containers /etc/hosts file mapping, the hostname host.docker.internal to the host machine's IP. This means that the container can access services running on your machine like databases, servers, etc. I'm not entirely sure why the last bit is needed. As I said, no GPUs here, so I'm not going to be running this specific version. It's just what open-webui docs recommend. If anyone wants to give it a try without the host command, drop a comment down below and let me know how it works. So, I'm going to remove those parameters now. Back to our CPU only approach and hit enter. Now, unless you've done this before, like I have, it's going to take some time now to download that image and create your container. Because it's a bit of a download, I've pre-done it and it's now up and running on this machine. Alright, so now, unless you've done this before, it's going to run through a process of downloading and creating that container for you. Because the download is about 4.8 gig, I've already done it, and now we have the image up and running as a container on this computer. So let's jump into the browser. We're going to go over to localhost 3000, hit enter. We've got a 500 error. To deal with that situation, what we're going to need to do is download a model. If we jump into our browser and go to the Ollama website, go to the models page, we can see that there are a huge number of different models that you can choose from. Today we're going to look at Meta's Llama 3.1. It has a variety of different parameter sizes. As I said, the slower your computer is, the smaller the number that you're going to want there. We're going to be running the 8B today. If we click in, we're going to be able to see that to get the 8B model, all we need to type in is ollama run llama 3.1. So we will jump into Docker. We'll type in ollama run llama 3.1. When I hit enter, it's going to run through a download process that is very lengthy. It's about a 4.7 gig download. So we're going to use some movie magic here and jump to the end of the download. Alright, and there we have it. Now we can finally jump into our browser, come across, type in localhost 3000. Before we can jump in, we're going to need to sign up for an account. Now this isn't an account with open-webui, this is an account on your local device. So this means that you can actually have multiple users for your local AI instance. So you, your partner, your kids, your roommate, anyone and everyone can get their own account. The first account, however, is going to be set up as the admin. So we're going to quickly sign up. We'll click create. And now we're in. We've got a little update notification saying some of the exciting new features of open-webui, but let's click select model. We've got our model that we've downloaded here. Select that. Let's try and answer one of life's great mysteries. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? And there we go, it's starting to spit out an answer for us. We will get our answer to the age-old question. All that's left now is for you to sit back and enjoy. So, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you found this video helpful and you want to see more content like this. And don't forget to stay hydrated. Till next time, have a good one.